Welcome back to the R&D podcast. My name is Dalton. I'm joined here today with
RJ.
Today we're going to be talking about the number 24 ranked Tennessee Volunteers taking on Syracuse in Atlanta, Georgia. Um, middle ground game for them, which goes in Syracuse's favor because you don't want to play at Rocky Top, right? But talking about these teams, you get two new quarterbacks. Tennessee's offense a little different of a scheme, a little bit hard to play against. How do you feel Tennessee's offense is going to attack Syracuse's defense?
Well, if I'm Tennessee's offensive coordinator, I am running the ball down their throats. Syracuse run defense was atrocious last year, and I don't think their defense will be any better this year. So if I'm Tennessee, run the ball down their throats, and then maybe pull it, do a little play action, because Aguilar isn't a runner. I feel like he's a gunslinger. So run the ball, play action, sling it downfield.
Tennessee, you add Star Matthews in the portal from Duke, right? New running back, he's pretty decent. You got some talent behind him who maybe haven't proved themselves yet, but we all know Tennessee's got talent on their team. Offensive line, you don't really know what you're getting with them. They're currently ranked number 10 in the SEC preseason. They add a couple guys in the transfer portal, one from Notre Dame, one from LSU. You don't really know what you got there, but hopefully they turn out to be something good in Tennessee's favor. Right. Wide receiver room, you got a couple guys that you got a veteran, in there. You got Chris Braswell in there. You got Mike Matthews, who needs to have a pretty good breakout season this year, I feel like. You lose Squirrel White. He transfers to FSU. That's a pretty big loss for you. You got one of the best tight ends in the country, right? Kitzelman, he's one of the better, probably number 6 ranked tight end in the country, I'm pretty sure is what he is going into this year. But looking at this Tennessee offense, it's really hard to combat if you're a defense because they spread you outside. They play everybody outside the numbers. They're going to attack you with the run. They're going to make your safety spread out so they can't come into the run game, which makes it really difficult if you're a defensive coordinator to attack because you really have to make a decision to play one-on-one on the outside or some type of bracket. But then you take your safeties out of the run game. So it makes it a lot harder. Syracuse's defense, right? You mentioned that they were lackluster in the run last year. For them to be able to play against this Tennessee offense, they have to force turnovers.
Well, they got to find those go-getters.
Mm-hmm.
They got to find those players that won't sit and are willing to get it for Syracuse. So if Syracuse defense can bring that this year, this game could be in Syracuse's favor. Because I feel like Syracuse has the better quarterback, but not the better talent on paper.
Okay, yeah, I mean I agree with you. Looking at Syracuse's defense last year, they struggled in the defensive end. They struggled at corner. I don't think it's going to be very different this year. Defensive tackle, they're deep, but really and truly, one of my keys is you got to have somebody stand out on the defensive end for Syracuse. And the fact that Aguilar is going to sit in the pocket. He's not going to scramble. We know that. He's a gunslinger. He's going to stay around the pocket. So get to that launch point. Keep where he throws the ball at. You want to get pressure there, force him outside the pocket, make him make a play. And that really goes into your favor. With this lackluster cornerback room that they have, they've added a couple transfers, but nothing that really just makes the cornerback room shake. Safeties are pretty solid. Linebackers are pretty solid. So Syracuse is really going to have to make a lot of plays on defense to stay in this game or potentially win this game. Tennessee's offense, they have some good talent, but I don't know if they're going to score a ton of points. So
I feel like it's going to be a sloppy game.
A sloppy game? Yeah, I could see that definitely. I think it's going to be a low 30s, kind of mid-20s game, but we'll talk.
So you got two quarterbacks missed the whole spring, right? And Aguilar had a all right season at State, and then what's the other quarterback's name?
Angeli. Yeah, Steve Angeli.
He was benched at.
He was at Notre Dame, played in the playoffs a little bit when Riley Leonard got hurt, but
some flashes.
Yeah, he's a pretty solid little quarterback. But
so I thought it's going to start a slow game and bring their way up there, but also a sloppy game.
So going to Syracuse's offense, right? Last year, really explosive in the pass game. Kind of didn't really know what you're getting in the run game, right? They get a transfer in Jonte Cook. They have a couple of receivers that stay, and they're pretty solid receivers. But you lose Pena to Penn State, so he's one of your biggest guys. McCoy goes to the draft. So you kind of have a rebuild, especially in the running back room. You don't really have a staple guy there. But you're looking for Angeli to have a really good game, and you need Jonte Cook to show up and show out if you want to even have a chance of beating this Tennessee team. Because, we know how good Tennessee's defense is. I'll let you touch up on them a little bit, but,
they're pretty stout. They're stout. That's their main built on this Tennessee's team this year is their defense.
You look back at these past couple of years with Heupel's kind of tenure here. He gets an extension recently as well, but they've been notorious for having great edge rushers. Like you saw James Pierce last year. They're going to have great edge presence. They got a lot of talent there, which is going to make it really hard for Syracuse. Now they have the best cornerback duo, or one of the best cornerback duos in college football. I really could call it a trio because you have Boo Carter back there as well. But as long as they stay healthy, as long as that cornerback room stays healthy, they should be completely fine because there's not many people in college football much better than them. But Tennessee's defense has a chance to really show how good of a unit they are in this game by just completely shutting down Fran Brown, Syracuse in his second year after having such a great year last year. What do you feel like? How do you think Tennessee's going to attack Syracuse right off the start of the game?
Pressure. Pressure on Angeli and lock up, maybe double coverage with Jonte Cook because he's been balling out in fall camp. So double coverage Jonte Cook and give pressure to Angeli, and I feel like Tennessee would be very comfortable in this game.
See, I don't even know if you have to double Cook, right? I think you make him prove himself first, and then you have the guys in your cornerback room. Like you have the number 2 ranked corner in the country. Like he's going to be able to shut him down. You got Ricky Gibson that's there still. He's going to be a great factor in this game. So the cornerback room for Tennessee is really the biggest advantage as far as over Syracuse's defense as well. And defensive ends for Tennessee, like we were saying, it's just a complete standout room no matter what. No matter what year you look at for Tennessee the past couple of years. Talking about kind of getting closer to the score prediction at the end of the game, what do you think Syracuse can do on offense to even stay in this game?
Well, before I give my score prediction, I'm going to say this about Syracuse. If you give Syracuse confidence, especially Fran Brown, he's a very good competitor. You saw that last year, and a pretty good height, man. So if you give Syracuse confidence in this game, Syracuse could win this game. As in, like, hey, if Syracuse defense get a turnover or two, and then Angeli and Jonte Cook starts cooking up, this could be a really, really, really close game. But that's in a different world. I don't see that happening, so I'm gonna go Volunteers 34-24.
I respect that. Right. Also, like for me, I feel like Syracuse's defense has got to get off the field. They got to force turnovers. They got to get off the field on third down, no matter what you look at. I think as far as on offense for them, you have to have a wide receiver stand out. If it's Cook, if it's one of the other guys, you have to have somebody show flashes in this game and make Tennessee respect the passing game because you're not very great at running the ball. Now they do retain a couple offensive. They return 2. They get 2 in the transfer portal. That's really good. So Syracuse has a decent offensive line, right? So that's one thing they have going for them. But I don't think they can match up with the talent of Tennessee's defensive edge rushers or tackles. My score prediction for this game is 31-17 Tennessee, and there's not much else to say about that. I think talent, depth, and just proven players is what gets the best. I mean, Tennessee defense is one of the best in the country. Syracuse, I don't think there's a whole lot they can do about it. As far as like the lines for this game, you got Tennessee opened at 13.5, remain at 13.5. Money lines -600 for Tennessee. I think your safest bet is probably going to be the 13.5 for Tennessee's way. I think if you could bet the under points for Syracuse, if it's under, I think it was 18.5 or 17.5. If you can bet that up to 18.5, I think that's probably your actual best bet. But I know a lot of apps will not allow you to do that. So this game right here, it could be interesting, but looking at it on paper, looking at the talent on both rosters, Tennessee should be able to pull away with this game as long as Aguilar does not keep them the game with mistakes. And I think Josh Heupel is too good of a coach to allow Syracuse to remain in this game. With that being said, is there anything else you want to say about this matchup?
No, you said it for me, brother.
Well, this has been the R&D podcast. My name's Dalton.
RJ.
We'll catch you next time.
Follow, like, and subscribe.